So we're going to record this. All right, so welcome everybody. We're all getting together today for a fundraiser for the Dining Home Tokai, which many of us are a part of. And for those of you that don't know, we all kind of have the same mindset, and that's preserving classical Japanese martial arts. So that's what we're here today to do, and learn something, get a little sweaty, and have some fun. Maybe meet some new people as well. So after we bow in, we're going to start with traditional Goju Ryu Junbi, so warming up, exercises created by Miyagi children, taken from kata to help warm the body up in preparation for kata, for better performance in your kata. And then we're going to cover the Kata Tensho. So we have different substyles of Goju Ryu on today. So we're going to do the Junbi version of Tensho. This is a breathing kata we do, and it's one of our last katas. So actually, it's the last kata in the syllabus. So we have white, yellow, orange, green, blue, brown, black, first dan, second dan, third dan, fourth dan, fifth dan, sixth dan, seventh dan. This is a kata for eighth dan in our system, but
however, we do have some lower don't let that worry you at all, because this is a slow motion kata. It's very easy to learn these movements. Okay?
And quite often it's learned while you're a colored belt. And then black belts, you're not getting your 8th Dan certificate at the end of this. Sorry. Yeah. Just because you know Tensho doesn't mean you get your 8th Dan certificate. And hopefully people that know it will get some little refinement or a different way of looking at things, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's get started. We'll bow in. Just going to adjust our camera a bit. Good. All right. So face your camera. Okay. Tony, right? Sensei ni, right? Otagai ni, face a partner. If you don't have a partner, face us. Otagai ni, right? Onegaishimasu. Onegaishimasu. All right. Shake on your legs. Arms.
Good. We're going to start with the toes. Can you hear me, Sensei Evan? Okay. All right. Starting with the toes. We're going to pick up the big toe and then big toe down, other toes up. Okay, so this is an important movement in Goju Ryu to warm up our feet. Okay, so lift the big toe, but you are also pushing your other toes into the ground. Okay, so if you look at your toes, they should be turning white from being pushed into the ground. And then you switch, big toe up, other toes down, and now you're pushing your big toe, but not just your big toe, the entire side of your foot, your arch. You want to really be pushing that into the ground. Okay, now we're going to do this quickly. And ichi, ni, san, chi, go, roku, shichi, hachi, ku, and ju. Excellent. All right, so we usually do this quickly, but you have to really lift and push and then switch, lift and push. And it's that pressure into the ground that's really important in that exercise. Good. Outside edge of one foot, inside edge of the other. Feel a stretch through your ankle. Change. So if you look here, I'm kind of pushing one foot into the ground as I'm arching the other foot up. Good. And change. And change. Excellent. Good. Up on the toes and back on the heels. So we go up. It's not just the ball of the foot. You want to see if you can rise up past the ball of your foot. Past, hold. When you come down, bend your knees and then flex your legs, rolling on the back of the heels. And what's also important is you breathe in and out. And it's a quick exercise, and you want to tense the stomach muscles very quickly and then release. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. Good. Knees forwards and backwards. Good. Circling. We're going to bend forwards, open, and back. And 2, 3, 4, 5. And now reverse. We're going to bend and open, close the knees, and push back. And 1. Good. And 2, 3, 4, and 5. Excellent. Good. Circle the hips. Thank you, Sensei Evan. Other way. Good. Arms. And back. Good. Stretch one arm across. Same arm, put it on your hip and pull your elbow forwards. Good. Change arms. Good. And then hand to the hip and pull that elbow forwards. If you can't quite reach your elbow, you can maybe grab your gi and try to pull your arm forwards that way. Nice. Good. Half circles with the head, rolling from shoulder to shoulder. Looking from side to side. And ear to the shoulder. Good. Right hand up for Moashike. So from here, we're going to block, we're going to breathe in, and then we're going to push over, stretch, and exhale. And then we come back up, and it will be the left hand, does the Moashike, and then exhale, other side. Okay, so when we do this, you want to extend your arms as far as you can, so which likely means your bottom arm is going to reach farther than your top arm. So sometimes we see students doing this. You want to really stretch with both arms. Okay, so right side up and breathe in and breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. Good. Now from here, we're going to do the same thing, Moashike, but now we're going to twist and we're going to stretch to the back. And again, one arm is probably going to stretch farther than the other, and that's okay. You want to stretch both your arms to their maximum potential. Okay, right hand up. So back into the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. All right, and one more. Moashike. This time, we're stretching forwards and down, but my right hand will go to my left leg. Okay, and then when I switch, it'll be my right hand going to my left leg. So opposite. So you're getting that stretch over and down. Okay, so right hand up. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. Good. And shikurachi. And stretch a little bit. So you put your hands on your legs. Elbows are straight and you're holding your body with your arms. pushing your knees out.
Thumbs should be on the inside of your knees.
Good. Push one shoulder in, and then you look away from that shoulder. And change, other shoulder in, and look away from that shoulder. Good, back to the center, down a little lower. You can use your elbows on your knees. So now, I'm holding the weight of my body with my arms, my elbows. So you want to relax your legs as much as possible to get that stretch. Good, and up. So while we're in this position, we're going to do our Tayatoshi drill. So body drop. The legs are out in Shikodachi. So it's approximately double your shoulder width. We're going to breathe in. We're going to exhale. You're going to catch your body with your arms in this position. Okay? The head starts straight. And as we drop and exhale, I'm going to look up. Okay? And again, this will be a fast exercise. It's called a body drop. All right, so we breathe in, we relax, and then when you drop, everything is quick, and then you catch yourself very quickly with your arms and exhale. Okay, we'll do 6. 1, 2. I want to make sure the arms are straight. 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. Right hand in chamber. Left hand is going to do the same thing. Slides down your leg and catches. My right hand is going to do a palm heel strike up as I drop. 1. And then come up quickly with that hand in chamber. Everything is tight. 2, 3, 4, 5. Change hands. Same thing. 1, 2, 3. Keep those elbows in. 4, 5. Both hands together.
Okay, on the re-chamber, keep the elbow in. So we're doing this. Pull the elbow into chamber. Don't just bring the hand in, but also bring your elbow into chamber. Okay, just as we would if we were punching. Okay, so bring your elbows in, scrape them against your sides.
Maybe some people know a kata kind of looks like this when we bring our elbows in. You can think about that. Okay, palm heel strike is strong, and then the re-chamber is also going to be strong.
Elbows in. No.
Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. All right, we're going to do one more Tayatoshi dropping drill. So just turn sideways so you can see. I'm going to reach out with my hands. And as I exhale and drop, I'm going to do a double palm heel straight behind. Okay? And then when I come up, this is going to be very fast. I'm actually going to close my fists in chamber in this position. Picture chamber. This is straight, but the shoulders down. Okay, this is straight. Then you're going to release. You're relaxed, tight as you exhale, tight as you inhale, and then relax. Okay? And we'll do 5. Reach out, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Good. Pick up those arms, pick up the legs, pick up one leg, stretch out your quad. Change. We'll do just a little more stretching.
So in the Tensho, what we're going to do today, we don't have that dropping movement. But in many of our other katas, for example, in Giku Kata Ichi, we're going to drop. It's the same dropping we do with this Tai Toshi exercise. It's not in Tensho, but it's in many of the other katas. Seiyunjin, Gikisai, Seipai, Kururufa, Seisan, Subarupe. Maybe not in Saifa, but in the majority. Oh yeah, Saifa, right. Saifa, right, the dropping. Yeah, okay.
Good. All right. Just gonna turn sideways so you can see. Put one foot forwards, heel up, and then we're gonna bend the back knee and reach forward. Pull your toes forwards. And change. Good. And legs double shoulder width apart, stretch forwards. Right, so the feet are not out too far yet. Good. Stretch over to one side. And the other side. Good. Open the feet a little wider. Maybe 1 or 2 foot lengths. Stretch to the center. And over to one side. And over to the other side. Good. Hands on the floor, right in front of you. And walk your feet in. Leave your hands on the floor as long as you can. See if you can bring your feet together and roll up. Good. Maybe one more exercise. Right hand in chamber. We're going to stretch our wrists. And so there's a lot of wrist action. Okay, so you're grabbing your fingertips and stretch forwards this way. Good. Back, turn the fingers up. The same stretch, but we're just stretching the fingers again. Good. From here, I'm going to twist my hand. I'm going to grab my thumb this way. And I'm going to stretch my wrist in this direction. Good. One more. I'm going to unroll that wrist, point it forwards, and make sure you turn your hand in, grabbing on top. So not this way, grabbing this way. Yes, grab here, and now you're going to stretch your wrist in. Good. So what I'm trying to do is bring my wrist in and tilt it up as much as I can. All right, now it's easy if you do this. Now do this with your elbows down, and you should feel a stretch more. Now this one's a little tricky. Okay, other hand. Ready? Chamber. This one's pretty easy. Good. Pull back. Point the fingers up. Excellent. From here, I'm going to turn my wrist. So my thumb is pointing towards you. And then I'm going to grab under my thumb And I'm going to twist my wrist this way. Okay, this one looks pretty good. And unroll your wrist, point your hand out straight. Good, so everyone's thumb should be pointed down. And my hand goes on top this way. Not this way, I haven't turned my hand. Hand goes on top, and then I'm gonna bend my elbows, and I'm also tilting this wrist up. You wanna bring your baby finger to your nose, if you can, while keeping that elbow down. Okay, good, and shake it off.
All right, good. Everybody warmed up? So if you don't do Goju Ryu, and from my friends that don't do Goju Ryu, the Goju Ryu katas they want to learn are Sanchin, Tensho, and Sywyk. And then like for Goju Ryu people, I want to learn like Unsu or Goju from other styles. You know, kind of the unique katas from each style. So today we're actually going to warm up with Sanchin and then spend most of our time on Tensho. And Tensho actually means the rotation of the wrist. So you'll see that by the movements of the kata. Okay, but we're going to start with Sanchin. So both these katas are dynamic tension, and you want to have auditable breathing. Right. Yes, they both have the first same few moves. We're going to start, and this is the Junbi version. And so some people are doing Meibukan, some people are doing Yosikan, Shornru. So just have fun with this and keep an open mind. Okay, so first move, we're going to step forward with our right leg into Sanchin, perform a double middle block. That's it. Good. From here, we're going to pull in our left hand as we breathe in, and then breathe out as you punch, slowly. And then you're going to imagine someone is bending your elbow, like cutting your elbow. Your arm is just going to come back to that original spot, but just by bending the elbow. Good. And then we're going to step. We'll talk more about the stepping later. Pulling your right hand, breathing in, and breathe out. Somebody bends your elbow. Back. Good. Step again. Okay, so we're doing Sanchin Dai Ichi, or Sanchin number 1 in our system. So there's no turning in this kata. So Meibukan might learn a new, shorter version of Sanchin. Okay, and breathe in, breathe out, and back. Good, and we stay there, so no more stepping, and 4 more punches. Breathe in, 1, breathe out, back, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, this 4th one, we're going to open up both hands and press. Good. Now we're going to grab with both hands. Breathe in. And double spear hand. 2. And 3. Right hand is going to set up. So just like in the warm-up, we're going to step back, do our Mawashuke, and just strike forward. Slow. And then left hand up, step back. And finish. not a complicated kata, okay, but there's a lot to it. Okay, the breathing should be coordinated with the movement. So when we're breathing and our hands pulling in, for example, as soon as the hand stops, the breath needs to stop. And then there's a pause, and then we start the breath up again and breathe out. Okay, so the breath and the movement need to go together. So we can't still be breathing in when the hand is stopped. And likewise, we can't breathe out, stop our breath, and then the movement stops. But the movement's still going. So breath and movement together. Sanchin means 3 battles, right? There's a lot of interpretation to that. One interpretation is mind, body, spirit. Okay, meaning the mind, body, and spirit are all connected. When the body gives up, the mind has to kick in and keep going. When the mind is ready to give up, the spirit has to kick in and keep going. There's stories about Miyagi children. They would train, they would do Sanchin Kata about 30 times a day. 30 times. So, it's a lot. Because you got to keep your core tight. So our legs are tight, our core is tight, okay, our arms are tight. We try to engage your trapezius muscle here by pulling our chin in and then slightly down. So you're basically making your body like stone. So when we are contracting our muscles, the body is like stone. And then another part of Sanchin is the testing. So someone will be behind you testing your muscles, making sure your legs are tight, your traps are tight, your lats, your stomach, your arms. So we're trying to make our body like stone. And there's stories about when Miyagi Chojun was teaching in his garden dojo, kids would look through the fence. They would peek through the fence to try and see what they were doing. And they said all they would see was the students doing Sanchin. And their bodies were like chiseled statues. So super, you don't need a gym at home if you know Sanchin. But the funny thing is, all they would see them doing is Sanchin. So they must have done it a lot. Because every story of someone peeking through the fence, they saw the same thing, Sanchin being done. So our Tensho and our Sanchin start the same way. So by doing Sanchin, and also they end the same way. So the beginning moves and the ending moves are the same. Miyagi Sensei learned Sanchin from Kanyu Higashiyama, who learned it from China. And when Miyagi Sensei went to China, he saw some statues, Buddha statues, or Bodhisattva statues, doing this pose. And it was like a prayer pose. And he liked it so much that when he created Tensho, and yes, Miyagi Chojun Sensei created Tensho. So Sanchin was learned in China, brought back to Okinawa. Some little modifications were done, but Miyagi Sensei actually created Tensho. So we're going to do Sanchin a couple more times. The beginning and the ends are the same as Tensho. The middle part is the difference. Okay, so just before we do Sanchin, just contract your core. Tighten up your core. Tight, tight. Tighten up your core. Okay? Make sure it's tight. That's the same feeling. We need to have the same feeling when we do Sanchin. So as soon as we start in the Sanchin, core is tight. And you got to maintain that through the duration of the kata. So, if we time 30 seconds, keeping your core tight. Maybe not Charlie, but it would get everybody else a good workout. Well, Sanchin takes maybe a minute to do. Okay, so you have to keep your core tight for the duration of the kata. So if someone was to come up and punch you to the stomach, your core will be tight and you'll be able to absorb the punch. Now, if tightening your core is okay, no problem, try to expand that to tighten your side, your obliques too. Okay? And then if we can expand that to our lower and upper back. So starting with the abs, starting with your core, but your core is not just in front, it's really all around. So that's what we want to tighten. Okay, let's do that while we do Sanchin. Yoi. And stepping with the right foot. Okay, punching left hand. Remember, like stone. Like stone. Now step with your left foot. Like stone. Abs tight. Right hand chambers. While you breathe in, breathe out. Step. Left hand. Okay, now 4 more punches without stepping it. Core tight. Knee. San. Chi. 4th one. Leave it there. Open. Press. Good. Grab. 2. Core still tight. 3. Right hand up. Core tight. All right, so, if your core has to be tight the whole kata, and you're doing it 30 times a day, no kidding, those kids peeking through the fence, all they saw was like a chiseled body like a statue on the karate people practicing in Miyagi Children's Garden Dojo. So 1933, April of 1933, the Prince of Japan went to Okinawa. And Miyagi-sensei did a karate demonstration for them. For him, I think there was 2 princes that went, plus their entourage. And it was Miyagi-sensei that did a demonstration for them in April of 1933. December 26th, 1933, that's when Goju Ryu was officially recognized by the Dainihoon Tokukai. So for those of you guys that don't know what the Dainihoon Tokukais, we're doing a fundraiser for this organization. It is the governing body for all Japanese classical martial art. So all Japanese classical martial arts are recognized by the Dainihoon Tokukai And the Dai Kai's only mission is to preserve these classical martial arts. So Goju Ryu was the first karate style recognized by the Dai Kai. Now, Goju, Shoru, Weichuru, other karate styles are recognized now as well. But Goju was the first one, and that happened December 26th, 1933. All right, so let's do Sanchin one more time, and then we'll move on to Tensho. And you'll already know the beginning and end of Tensho because of Sanchin. It took me a long time to realize Sanchin is not just some boring kata. It's a workout, and I don't need any gym or any equipment. When we used to go to the office, I'd get up in my cubicle and I'd do Sanchin. Now, not the loud breathing, but I'd do the training, just relax, contract, relax, contract. I know many of us, not many, a couple of our students did the same thing when they had like tension headaches. So they'd be at work, they'd get a tension headache, and they'd get up and they'd do Sanchin, relax, contract, relax, contract, and that sometimes helped their headache go away. Because we're relaxing and contracting and getting rid of that tension. Okay? All right, last time, and then we'll move on. Yoi. And keep that core tight. Okay? And itch. Knee. Yep. Stand. Step. She. And 4 more punches with no step. 2. 3. 4. And leave it out. Open and press. And grabbing, pulling in, elbows in. 2. 3. Nice. Right hand. Left. And finish. Good. Good, good. You should feel that tension leaving your body. And then you should feel your abs start to get sore. Yeah. All right, Tensho. So Tensho, if you've read part of the Bobishi talks about 6 energy hands. Tensho uses part of that. So the 6 energy hands are Rukishi. Miyagi-sensei was also good friends with a white crane master called Gokenki, who did some white cranes. So Tensho had maybe some influence from him, possibly. Okay, so the Rukishi, we do 4 of these 6 energy hands. So we block up, right, with the bent wrist part. So these are all similar to crane techniques. And then we chop down. Good. And then we block to the outside with the back of the wrist. And then we palm heel strike to the inside. Good. And again, so up, down, outside, and inside. Good. And again, so blocking up, striking down, blocking to the outside, inside. Good. Other hand. Okay, so left hand, or do your other hand, blocking up, chopping down, outside, palm heel strike inside. And 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, ich, ni, san, shi. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Good. So what is emphasized to us is the not moving the elbow. So we don't want to move the elbow. No one's doing that, okay? But from middle block, the elbow is locked in and then down. So the hand moves only as much as it needs to without the elbow moving. So if my elbow starts to move, that's too far. So stop here and then same thing in. And this is enough. If somebody punches me, that's enough to deflect it to the side of my body. I don't need to overblock and go all the way out here. So we block up, down, out, and in, and there's small movements, minimal movement in the elbow. And when I mean minimal, I mean no movement. Don't move the elbow. Okay, so let's do both hands. So in the kata, we do the right side, left side, and then we do both. Okay, lock in both elbows. Don't let those elbows move. Up, down, out, in. Good. Keeping the elbows where they are. Again, up, down, out, in. Up, down, out, in. So if you flex the wrist as much as you can, then we don't have to move the elbow. So tensho means the rotation of the wrist. So we want to flex the wrist this way, and then this way, and then out, and then in. So really bend those wrists back, okay, or forward, out and in. Okay? Good. So do that on your own. Check your elbows. Don't let the elbows move. So up, down, out, in. Up, down, out, in. Ich, ni, san, shi, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And it's the same as the punching movements. We want to relax, relax, then contract. Relax, contract. Relax, contract, relax, contract. This is a shorter movement, but it's still the same principle of relaxing, contract.
So you can actually use your Zoom screen as a training tool for yourself, right? So when you're doing this up, down, look at your elbows. If your elbows are outside your body line, you know that they're not in enough. So it's relative. My body, different from his body, from all of your bodies, right? So relative, so use your own body as a guide, right? So that position of that elbow stays in, up, down, and then here's the one where we often see those elbows start to open up. So watch yourself and make sure that those elbows stay in your body line, out and in. Okay, so use your Zoom screen as a training tool right now and make sure that those elbows do not go outside your body line. And that's not just for Tensho, that's for all of our blocks, right? Everything we do in Goju.
Yes, we have a mantra. It's keeping your elbows in. Keep your elbows in. Keep your elbows in. Well, Sensei Joey says, how far should the elbows be from the ribs?
So same as your middle block. Right? So
Which is one fist. About one fist from your body.
yeah, so when we do Tensho, right, we're actually starting that exercise from this position. We have a couple of other hand movements, but then we go up, down, out, in. So that position right here is exactly the same as here and here, here, here.
Yeah. We often use that one fist unit of measure. In like in Jundokan, it's one fist high block from your head, middle block, Hakyuke, Yoruke, Kokenuke, it's one fist. Low block, it's one fist off your knee. Okay? All right, let's start the kata. Oh, another question. How outside do the hands go for the sideways movement?
So relative to your body, Michael, as long as you can keep those elbows in.
Goes as far as you can before the elbow starts to move.
Yeah, so here, that's maximum for me. If I go any further, I have to move that elbow because my arm just won't bend anymore. Okay, so
So don't move the elbow.
Thank you.
stays there. As soon as you feel your elbows start to move away from your body, you know, you've gone too far. Okay, because that's a block. And I only need to block, look, it's just past my body where that is. So I don't need to block out here. I only need to block just enough so it's outside of my own body line. Okay? Good. All right, I think we're ready to start the kata, start Tensho, which starts exactly the same as Sanchin.
Right. Okay, so let's get it right. Tensho, yoi. And again, we start from this position here. And just like Sanchin, inch. Left punch. So we step forward with the right leg, pull the left arm in. Step with your right. Step with your left. Pull your right punch in. Good. Stepping, right leg in front. Pull your left hand in, stop. Leave your right hand out there. Your right hand is going to open. And you're going to do a kakyuke. So open, kakyuke into chamber. And then you're going to come back out and do a sotoke. And pull into chamber. Turn your fingers up. And strike. Good. From here, we're going to bend the elbow slightly. Hook to the outside. Pull the hand into chamber. Strike low. And now we're going to do those 4 movements we were doing just prior. Up, down, out, in. Good. So this is a palm heel strike. Good. And then we step forward with the left leg and left arm. And repeat. Kakyuke. Soto, shuto, outside shuto, into chamber, fingers turn up, palm heel strike. Bend the arm, bend the elbow. So we get to a middle block position. My arm is straight, I'm going to bend my elbow and then hook to the outside, pull in. Strike low. This should all be on your left side. Koken up, down, out, in. And might as well keep going because we do the same thing, but now with both hands. So both hands open, kakyuke, shuto, pull into chamber, fingers turn up, double strike. Bend the elbows, hook, and strike low. And those 4 movements, up, don't move the elbows, down, out, don't move the elbows, in. All right, let's stop there. We're almost done. That's almost the whole kata. Okay, from the beginning. So if I face the same way you guys are, I'm gonna step with our right leg, chamber left. Punch, step left, punch right, step right, chamber left, stop. Keep your right hand out. Right hand does kakyuke, outside shuto, pull into chamber, sote, on heel. Then the elbow hook, and strike low, block up, poke in, head wrist, down, out, like crane, and then in. Step forward left, left side's turn. Kakyuke, outside shuto, fingers turn up, right cut. Bend the elbows, hook, strike low. Now, bend wrist up, strike down, bend wrist out, strike in. Step forward, right leg, double. Double kakyuke, double shuto, double palm heel strike. Bend the elbows, hook, double strike low. Up, down, out, in. And we should have the right leg in front. Good. And that's where we stop. Okay.
Yeah, so far so good. So all of those movements are all slow and dynamic tension. Okay, so when we're doing all of these movements, it's not a fast straight, right? Yeah. Okay, so all of those movements are slow. Okay, so my right side, slow, dynamic tension, breathing. We're going to talk about the breathing in a moment for that. Exhale here, all slow. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, and then left side, special breathing here. We're going to actually inhale 3 times. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, and then same thing, double. We're going to breathe in 3 times. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. I breathe in, I breathe in, I breathe in. So everything is full, right? Your entire diaphragm, everything is full. Then exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Okay, very slow. Okay, so everybody practice that, please. Black belts, of course, that know Tensho, you can do that proper breathing. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Long exhale. Long inhale, long exhale. This is a little shorter because the movement is shorter. And then change sides. Practice that inhalation, exhalation. Inhale, exhale, in, out, in, out. And then 2 hands together. Inhale once, twice, 3 times. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Thank you, Sensei Evan. In, out, in, out. Okay? Good. So one more time, just practice that slowly again. Inhale, he's on. Welcome, Sensei Southwell. Glad you made it. All right, so inhale, 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 exhale. Good, breathe in, and out, in, out, in, out. Breathe in once, twice, 3 times. Exhale. And in, out, in, out, in, out. Watch those elbows. Don't let me see those elbows out. That elbow in. And then both hands together. Excellent, good. Shake it off. So we breathe in. We'll talk about that in a moment. When you exhale, it's a slow motion movement, but it's very strong. Okay, I'm not just breathing out, breathe out. And then there's tension, focus, hime, as if I was striking fast. At the end, I should be just as strong as if that was a fast movement. Okay, and breathe in, like I'm relaxed. And then same thing, but everything is tight, as if I'm striking. Just this kata, it's all done in slow motion. But we're teaching the muscles that exaggeration between the tension and the relaxation. Everything is relaxed and then tense, just as if I was striking. But that is, okay, up, same thing. That is strong, 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 strong. So that the arm is not relaxed like a spaghetti noodle. There's tension in that, and especially at the end.
Okay. All right. So there's a little part of Tensho that has a little different breathing pattern than Sanchin.
Pretty cool.
In the way we do it. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. And we'll focus on the breath, focus on keeping the core tight. That's no problem. Get the obliques to tighten up, and then lower back as well. So in Kung Fu, we talk about iron shirt training, making your body, making your shirt, your chest, your core, strong enough to absorb blows. This is kind of like that, keeping that core tight. Okay, conditioning the body to take a blow, and you don't have to worry about it because your muscles are intact. Okay, so yoi, and stepping right, itch. Good. Punching left, breathe in, breathe out. In and out. Step. Right hand in. Good. Step. Left. So pull the left hand in. So breathe in. A short breath in. Now, you're going to breathe in again when we do this. And you're going to breathe in again when we do this. So 3 breaths in, and then 1 long breath out. Okay, and then we're back to breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, out. Okay, step forward, left side. So 1/3 breath in. 1/3 breath in. And the last third breath in. And breathe out. Hime at the end. And now we're back to breath in, breath out, in, out, in, out. We're going to do that same 3 breath pattern on the doubles. Breathe in, 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, and then out. Bend the elbows. Breathe in, out, in, out, in, out. Good. So, okay, like, let's say Charles, some black belts out there. Your core is tight, right? So on the breath out, usually when we breathe out, we contract, right? But in Sanchin and Tensho, your core is already tight. So when you breathe out, tighten your core even more. All right, you think your core is tight, but you can tighten it even more. You think your core is tight, tighten it even more. All right, so initially when we start, the core is tight. You want some extra training? Every time you breathe out, tighten your core a little bit more. Okay, it's really difficult. It took me 20 years to realize this, so I'm telling you now. All right, let's finish it off. So let's go up to there. And then the last few moves are going to be similar to Sanchin, this, and our Mwashuke. So you already know the ending. It's a little bit different, but you'll get it. Okay, so from the beginning, yoi, and itch. Knee. Keep the core tight. Tighten it even more. And more. Three breaths in. Long breath out. Three breaths in. And long breath out. Breathe in. Doubles. Breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in. Good. So from here, we're just going to pick our hands up, step back, and turn them over. So it's a shorter move than pulling them all the way in like we do in Sanchin. And we do that twice. Good. Set up. Right hand. Set up left hand. And finish. There. Good. So that's the whole kata.
Yay, hey, you did it.
So when we asked when Miyazato Sensei was alive, we asked, I'm not sure what other Goju's take is on this, but it'd be interesting to find out, if the breathing between Sanchin and Tensho was different. So, and Miyazato Sensei says they're the same. Okay, so the breathing is exactly the same. You know, we have that one spot in Tensho where you breathe in 3 times, but the breathing is the same. We call it ibuki breathing. Okay, so it's the same ibuki breathing in Tensho as in Sanchin. Because in Chinese martial arts, and some of you guys do Chinese martial arts, I'm not sure about Kempo, but they talk about, you know, the tongue going to the upper palate and connecting the conceptual vessel with the governing vessel and all that meridian stuff in Chinese martial arts. So that's where we were, that's kind of where we were thinking with Sanchin and Tensho, you know, is that the same. We do that in Sanchin, like they talk about in Chinese martial arts. And Miyazaki Sensei says, no, the tongue is just normal. So it's just, resting. It's not touching the upper palate or anything like that. It's just normal. You're breathing out. When we do Sanchin breathing, the breath should be hot. So if you put your hand up to your mouth and you breathe from your abdomen, the breath should be warm. If you do this, if you pinch your lips, it's cool, right? Cool versus hot. So in Sanchin, we should be breathing from the abdomen and the breath should be hot. For the ending of the kata, we cut the breath at the end because.
So at the end of the kata, right, we've done our washuke. We breathe in, big inhalation, big exhalation, and I always think of almost like an accordion. What I want to do is I want to force all my breath out, breathe in a little bit less. Then you force all your breath out again, breathe in a little bit less, and then again. So each time at the end of the kata, when I'm doing that, I'm starting to relax my core that's been tight the entire time. Okay, so this is what helps me is I think of like a big accordion, all right, and I'm squeezing all the air out. So if you see, each one gets a little bit softer, all right, because there's not as much air, of course, to exhale, right? Because that first time you have to get all your breath out and then immediately breathe in, but you won't breathe in quite as much as you were. And then again, force it out, and then you breathe in a little less, force it out, right? So, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, whatever it takes until you are relaxed, and then you finish. So this is also to help so you're not out of breath. If you do Sanchin a lot, Tensho a lot, sometimes you get out of breath, right? And you finish and you're breathing heavily. You shouldn't do that. Okay, so this is helping. This is the same at the end of Sanchin, right? But we soften our breathing so that after we bow, we are back to normal. Our body is reset to start again. Okay, anybody have any questions on that? And a different concept. We don't do this in our katas that are fast. It's only for these breathing katas. Everybody, let's do that together. Okay, so from your last Mwashuke, breathe in, exhale, in, out, in, out, in, out. And right. Okay, so you're cutting that breath each time, getting a little softer and back to normal. Good, excellent.
Okay, let's do the whole kata. Okay, Tensho Yoi. So like Sanchin, starting with the right leg stepping forward. Okay, so hands, we start this way. Other styles start this way. It's the same. And itch. Knee. Left punch. Step. San. Core tight. And step. Okay. 1/3. 1/3. 1/3. Long breath. And the elbow hook Up, down, out, in. Left side, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. And up, out. Good, doubles. 1/3, in. Bend the elbow. Up, out. Don't move the elbows on those. Now up and over, left. No, sorry, right first. Good, right hand up and left. And down and down. There we go. So you can't, well, a good way to practice Sanchin is to work up to it. You can't really do it full power right off the bat. So you start just with 50% contraction. And engaging the core, okay? So we should also be engaging the legs. As soon as you step and Sanchin, your legs are like stone, okay? And Tensho and Sanchin, they teach us to divide our body into quadrants. So divide our body in half first and then into quadrants. So half is when your stance finishes, your lower half of your body contracts. So it's stone. Your upper body is still moving. And then once that stops, everything is contracted. Now we're going to divide into quadrants. So your lower half stays contracted. Your right quadrant is going to stay contracted. You're going to relax the left side only. So if someone was to push on this arm, it shouldn't move. Okay? Only my left side is relaxed. The 3 other quarters are contracted. And then contract, and then relax just back to the elbow. Okay, now you're going to relax just the lower half. Relax the lower half, step. Relax the 2 lower quadrants, and now contract. Everything is contracted. Now you're going to relax the right quadrant. Left quadrant stays contracted. Okay, everything's contracted. Relax the lower half. Step. Now relax the left side. Okay, and contract it. Now relax the right side. Right side. Contracted. Up and down. Back. Okay, now you're going to relax the lower half, step. And now just the left side. Left side. Left side. Contract. Bend. Look, legs are contracted like stone. Just the left arm. Okay, keep that right arm contracted. Okay, now I'm going to relax the lower half only. Step. And relax the upper half. Lower half contracts, upper half contracts just after. And then relax. Legs are still strong. 2, 3. Okay, core should still be strong. And now we're going to relax almost everything. And then contract everything. And again. Now, Stand up. Relax the legs. Contract the legs. Arms are still moving. And contract the arms. Stand up. Relax the legs. Contract the legs. Watch you get. And then finish. Okay, so your legs should get a workout. My calf is cramping up.
I see some people holding their shoulders. Everyone take a moment, shake it out. If you're working out really hard, contracting, you should feel some parts of your body.
And there's isotonic exercise, which is contraction without movement. And then there's isometric, which is contraction with movement. That's kind of what we're doing here. We're contracting with movement. Okay, lats should be engaged. Any movement we do, and any style of karate, the lats are the largest muscle group in the upper body. Any kind of upper body movement you do, engage those lats. So try to take pressure off your shoulder and engage your lat more. Or take pressure off your shoulder and engage your hip more. We don't want to lift the shoulder and punch. And Sanchin and Tensho are great exercises for that. And you want to keep those shoulders down. Use your Zoom screen, or if you have a mirror at home, in the dojo, turn your TV off, look at your reflection in the TV, and check your shoulders don't come up and down. We're not doing this. Okay? I don't want to do this. So you want to contract the lats. By contracting the lats, that pulls the shoulder down, and you don't have to worry about the shoulders coming up. Okay? All right, again, let's do it. Tensho. Tensho means, again, the rotation of the palm. You can see in the movements here how we rotate the palm, rotate down, and then, so lots of wrist rotation, lots of rotating the palm, rotating the wrist. Hey, you know what? Okay, keep that core tight, and if that's okay, you got that. Be aware when your core, when your core relaxes, and then contract it again. That's part of Sanchin, mind, body, spirit. So you're becoming aware of your body. Okay, if you start off, Sanchin or Tensho, and then you get to the third move. Oh, I forgot. Okay, be aware of that and contract the core again. That's our learning process. And then pretty soon you'll be just automatically keeping your core tight as soon as you start. Okay, all the way to the end. Okay, yoy, Tensho yoy. And itch. Knees. San. Okay, she, 3 breaths. 1, 2, 3. Striking low. Up, down. Out. In. Left. Breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in. And the elbow up. Up. Okay, double. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Check your core. Up. Now just up and over 2 times. Right hand. Left hand. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right. And those, another thing with those last 3 breaths, if your core isn't hurting already by the end, those last 3 breaths, you contract it even more, 3 more times. Really contract it at the end. And it's the end, so
Go for it.
leave everything on the dojo floor. Good. Think about this. So Miyagi Sensei created Tensho, you know that, towards the end of his life. And, this was kind of his shuhari. So everybody knows what shuhari is? Shuhari is like a circle. It's the life process of really anything you do. Shu is the beginning, and it's like the imitation phase. So you imitate the master at Shu. And or for piano, you got to learn the notes. You're trying to remember what the notes are. And after 4 or 5 years of that, it is different for everybody. You move to ha or ri. No, ha, shu, ha, ri. So shu is the beginning, ha is the middle part. So the middle part, you start to internalize things. So you don't have to, think about what to do anymore. You're it's internalized, and you're practicing it. You're making it part of yourself. And like playing the piano, okay, you don't have to think about it anymore. You just go and you just play, da, 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 da. And you learn more complicated music, and you get better and better. And then ri is, so shu is the beginning, you're imitating, ha, it becomes part of you, you start to internalize things. And then ri is like going back to the beginning of the circle again, but now you have all this knowledge internalized and stuff. But ri also is kind of transcending the art. So you're making the art better than it was when you started. And that's what Miyagi Sensei did with Kikisai Kata or Fuku Kata, right? And Tensho. So he created Tensho to give to the art, to make the art better. And he thought the saying in Goju Ryu is we start with Sanchin and we end with Tensho. So Sanchin was a very hard kata. Tensho was more soft because of the open hand movements. So it was softer in that respect. So we begin with Sanchin, we end with Tensho. And people that know the syllabus, we often start with Sanchin, go to Kikisai, all the way through, and we finish with Tensho. So Miyagi Sensei gave back to the art by creating Tensho and teaching it to his students, and in turn passed it on to their students and eventually the last. So Shuhari, and for Eastman students, that's going to be on your black belt exam. Take notes. Shu is like imitating the beginning stages. Ha is in the middle, internalizing things. Shu maybe takes 4 to 10 years, about, depends. Ha takes anywhere from like 10 to 30 years or 40 years. And then ri is after 40 years, 50 years. And when you come up with a, like Miyagi Sensei did, like this Kata Tensho. So think about this. So Miyagi Sensei loved Sanchin. So he created Tensho, started with Sanchin, and finished like Sanchin. In the middle, he added these 6 energy hands, right? But just before we do that, we do this series of moves. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So what is that? What is that? Okay, Sensei Joey.
No?
Yeah,
Should know.
Joey's doing it. Okay, so it is.
What?
Think about this. It's the breakdown of our Moashuke.
Washington was exercises we did at the beginning of class, right? All of you is Washington.
So this part, that's this part of Moashuke. Okay? And then this part is this part of Moashuke. And then this is the lower strike. So to do Moashuke with one hand, it would have to look like this. One, that's one part. Here's the other part into the upper strike. And then here's the lock into the lower strike.
Washington is 2 hands. And we watch the sensei like does Tensho.
So this part,
My right hand here.
right? And then this part,
Oh, that's my left hand here. So that movement is broken down.
and then the upper strike,
Oh, look, there's one hand.
and then
And there's the other hand.
the lower strike.
Okay, can everybody see that?
See it? Moashuke in there?
So when we do Washington, we do 2 hands together to here. Well, that's broken down in Tensho by the first 2 moves, 1 and 2. And then in Washington, the second part, we do both of these hands together, broken down in Washington, in Tensho, doing the high and the low, with 1 hand.
So basically, Tensho starts with Sanchin, then he breaks down Moashuke here, then he goes into the 6 energy hands. The Rukishi only does 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, and that could be influenced from Gokenki or from White Crane, with their crane blocks here. And then there's both sides, and then he finishes with 2 Moashukes. So he breaks down Moashuke, does the 6 energy hands, right side, left side, both hands together, and then finishes off with Moashuke. That's pretty ingenious, if you ask me.
Pretty cool. Yeah, Dominic.
Right? So that's one hand, right? This is the other hand. First 2 moves, and then the last part is the last 2 moves. There's the high strike, low strike. And then he throws in the 6 energy hands, and then finishes off. He loved this pose by the Bodhisattvas, so threw that in. And there you have Tensho. Okay, let's do it again. Right, this is there's an article on the Sensei Fred Lose's website. Talks about the breaking down, Tensho being the breakdown of Moashuke. And the 6 energy hands. Try and grab it and share it. He says I can have it and share it. So that was a while ago. I'll ask again and make sure it's still okay. But Pretty interesting. Hey, yoi. Core tight. And itch. Knee. Yeah. San. And step. Shi. So 3 breaths in. Break down to Moishuke. Then 6 energy. And left side. 3 breaths in. Up. Out in. And double. Keep that core tight. And if it's tight, tighten it even more on the exhales. And tight. Back, up and over. Left. Right, then left. All right. Good. So those second last moves, we're just coming up and over. Up and over. So they're quick. Where in Sanchin, we would grab, pull all the way in and out. So this is more like our Seisan kata. We do this, just up and over. So it's block and then strike. Block, quick block, and then strike. You can think of Tensho as, from here, somebody punches, block 1. Somebody punches 2, and you could hook in and strike, right? Or they punch 1, punch 2, they punch a 3rd time, hook, and then strike. Okay? And then from here they punch again, hook, strike low, and then they punch again, lock up, and then down, and then out, and then in. So you can think of all those as blocks. Okay? Or block, okay, block again. This is kind of like people that know Tiger Crane, right? It's like that Moishuke. Back in, strike, hook, block, here, and you could trap the arm and then strike. So Goju Ryu likes to hook, pull in, and then strike low. And then here we could be blocking and then striking. And then here we could be blocking out and then striking palm heel strike as well. Could be a block and a block, or it could be a block and a strike. But a striking block. And then block, and then strike to the stomach with that palm heel strike. Okay? Okay. Any questions?
Sensei?
Yes.
Sensei?
Yes.
Sorry, I was late. You might have already mentioned this, but for the crane or these here, up and down, how high do we come with our hand?
We did talk about that briefly. And when I mean briefly, I meant like a long time. So we don't move our elbow. So your hand comes up as far as it can without your elbow moving. If your elbow starts to move, that's too much. So we stop, 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 and then same thing for out. If my elbow starts to move, that's too much. So I just need to block here enough, and then here.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For most people, that up movement is gonna be the same as your middle block. Right, where you can keep that elbow in. Right, up, down, out, in.
Yes.
Approximate, right?
Yeah. So in Goju Ryu, we want to keep our elbows in. Okay, and we don't want them to move from that spot.
Migashima Sensei,
Hi.
could you talk a little bit about the hand position, and like where the thumb is and the angle of the fingers on these two moves?
Yes, okay, so good question. So in the Junbi, in our Goju Ryu system, so we're not blocking like this. Okay, in order for my elbow, or when I keep my elbow in, I follow that principle, keeping the elbow in. It turns my hand a bit. I'm blocking more with the index finger when I block up. And then we call this ox jaw or shuto when we block down. Now the side one is more of a straight to the side. So this is straight up. We don't do that when we go up. We angle, we pull our elbow in, and that's going to change the angle of the hand a little bit. When we do this, we actually make contact with our fourth finger. This way, and then down, fingers together, thumb tucked in. And then when we go to the side, we make contact with our middle finger. And then when we palm heel strike, keep your thumb in, push the palm heel up. So keep that elbow in when we block up, and that will change the angle of your hand to push the index finger higher than the back of the wrist. And some people say this is from praying mantis style, where your finger or your thumb enforces the joint of the finger, which strengthens the joint of the finger so we can strike with our fingers, without our fingers collapsing. So when we go up, it's the fourth finger. When we go to the slide, it's the middle finger. And of course, if you're watching somebody do that, you can't really see behind their hand what they're doing. It's just hidden.
Two other questions on hand positions. As you strike down from the upper part, or from this kind of turn koken and go down, is that hand straight going down, like straight from the wrist, or is it angled downward?
You want your fingers to angle up.
So it's kind of striking with the wrist on the edge.
Yeah, there's a bone in your wrist. It's one of the strongest bones in the body. We're striking with that bone. You actually hit the makiwara with that bone in the dojo. And like Kata Sensei, have a little ball of callus right there on that bone.
Okay,
Yeah.
now another question on the hand position. The first kakeuki after the middle block, as this sweeps around, is that a true kakeuki, or are we not wrinkling the skin on the wrist? Is that pulled back or forward?
Yeah. Yeah. So
It's a true kakeuki with the hand pulled back.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good question. So imagine you're blocking again, hooking, or it could be a 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks, and then strike. and then we block again, and then strike low. And then it goes, energy hand moves, and then we change to the other side, and then we do both. Okay, let's do the kata again, and see if you come up with any other questions. So kata movement-wise, it's a little more complicated than Sanchin, but not much. So it's all done slow, and it's done slow so we can concentrate on the muscle relaxation and muscle contraction. Okay, and then practice that core tightening. Okay, go away. And itch. Knee. San. Shi. Chamber left. Block right. Breathe in, breathe in. Bend the elbow, hook. Tack low. Lock up. Good. And left side. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Out. And hook. Up. Down, out. In. Double. 3 breaths in. Keep the shoulders down, tense the lats. Up. Down, out. Okay, up and over, stepping back twice. And then right hand up, step back. Left hand up, step up. And finish. And good. Any questions? Can everybody do the kata on their own? Okay, let's see you do it on your own. Make sure you can get through it on your own. And then you have the ability to practice it. Okay, so yoi. And as you may. Starts with that double block. Left punch, right punch, left chamber. Okay, the whole kata you're in Sanchin. Sanchin Dai Ichi. Then a selfie here, focus. Don't get distracted. Block, closed hand, open hand, strike. Here, bend the elbow, hook, strike low. Locking up, and down, out, and in. Then doubles. Two up and over, two shote, yukite, and then 2 more shukes, right, left. That's okay, and good. All right, so Hokama Sensei would tell us, Hokama Sensei from Kinshikai in Okinawa would tell us an analogy of a house. He would say, like Giki Sage, when you're building a house, Giki Sage, Gikuseni, Sanchin, those are like our first 3 katas. That's kind of like your foundation. Okay? And then the next three, Saifa, Sayunchin, Shusochin, that's kind of like your framing walls, your roof trusses, stuff like that. And then Sansuru, Seipai, Kurumfa, that's like the plumbing and the electricity, drywall, your ceiling, and then Seisan, Kurumfa, Seisan, Superumbe. That's like all your finishing touches, your door handles, your light, your switches, your covers for your plugs, the finishing touches. So what's Tensho? What would Tensho be? Yeah. Then Superumpe is all your finishing touches, your house is complete. What is Tensho? Come on.
Door. The front door.
Close. The doors were already added before. You're close. What do you use in a door?
Doorbell.
Foundation.
No.
Welcome back.
Tensho is the key.
Oh,
Tensho is your key to your house. So, to me, that's like, look for bits of Tensho in all the other katas. So, yeah, so house, foundation, walls, lights, doors, finishing, all that stuff, and then Tensho is the key. Gets you in, lets you in. So Tensho is kind of the key to going deeper maybe into some of the other katas. Definitely in the application, in the bunkai, for what we do, Tensho is a key for that. I think in the kata as well. I know in the kata as well. All right, any questions? David, yeah, David.
Hi, Sensei. Coming from the Shorin side of things, we don't particularly see this type of striking. I'm wondering if you could elaborate on that. And your Mawashi Uke is done differently than us. I just wanted to know some differences in bunkai for that, please.
Yeah, so these moves are, so in the kata we do double, right? We do both, but application might be double or it could be single. So if someone punches, you just punch, lock, lock and then strike. So you're just using the rotation and then striking. Or the double, if they're grabbing or something, you're like this. And then you're coming in this way. Lock, and then keep contact and move in, and then you're striking this way. In the old days, we used to, not we, like me included, not me. They used to condition their fingertip, right? So they kill you with a finger, no problem. Nowadays, we don't do that. So you could change to, for the application, to a flat fist punch using your knuckles.
Right.
More practical here, and then just strike with a flat fist punch. And then our Moashuke is it's as complicated as we get in Goju Ryu. And I like, how we do the breakdown. It's not obvious, right? But it makes sense. But the full block could be somebody punches, so we're blocking and striking. Double strike. So this could be a block, and then the other hand takes over, and I could throw it, and then strike. Or same thing, I could trap it, and then strike. So I have the arm here, and then I can strike. could be 2 punches, so 1, 2, and then strike. Okay, block 1, block 2, strike. Block 1, block 2, throw, strike. Block 1, block 2, trap, strike. So that's the kind of the idea behind Mwashuke. It could also be a grab, somebody grabs you or just clearing, striking. Wrist grab. Pull in, trap, strike.
Right.
Kind of just what it looks like. This could be a block, right? This could be a block, and then strike, or it could just be one block, clear, strike. Or it could be, yeah, that's it. Block, block. When your hands are up. So there's some, sometimes in a fight, you put your hands up, that aggravates the guy, right? That's going to make him mad. Right? And we don't always want to go into a fight with our hands down. So there's some poses you can do, some postures, which are not as intimidating, which set you right up just like for our technique. So this is one of them, in which you can do a Mwashuke from. Yeah, here. Listen, I don't want to fight you. Just, sorry about that, whatever that, sorry, but, your hands are up, kind of in a non-violent manner, but it's exactly like the setup for Mwashuke. Whether we do Mwashuke or we do something else, it'll be up to you. But at least your hands are up in a non-intimidating manner.
Right.
But it's cooler. It looks almost like that. All right.
That's it?
Yeah.
Then the move that you just described before moving to Mwashuke, this one here, are your elbows static in that move, or do they move sort of?
You move in and out.
So I just think about my elbows kind of rotating as opposed to, right, I don't want to, they don't need to move up or down, you can kind of rotate, maybe squeeze in together just a little bit, and then release, but you want to keep them in as much as possible. So rotate them in, rotate them out.
Right.
You don't need to lift your hands, right, and press too much. It's a smaller movement. It is up and down, but just a little bit.
Think more about the rotation of the arm as opposed to up and down.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good question.
All right. There's no more questions. We're going to bow out. Thank you very much for your support of this event. We're going to send, I think, a nice donation over to the DNBK Canadian branch.
Yes. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm spending the afternoon. That's awesome.
Yeah, and to be a fly on the wall, I wish when Miyagi Sensei was alive and creating Tensho would have been awesome. Anyway, you can see some insight into stuff, right? Into maybe the way he was thinking, some of his thought processes. The more you do the kata, right? You're not just doing that, but you're also getting into maybe Miyagi Sensei's thought process. Pretty cool. Getting into his head, what he was thinking and stuff. All right, good. Kyosuke. Somebody, right? Sensei ni, right? Otagai ni, right? Domo arigatou gozaimasu.
Hey, good work, everybody.
Thank you again. Hanshi Tallack, thanks everybody. He's climbing a mountain right now out in BC, so. Posted this,